It's the Evan edition. The Evan edition. The Evan edition. The Evan edition. It's the Evan edition. The Evan edition. The Evan edition. The Evan edition. It's the Evan edition.
Welcome back to the Evan edition. I'm your host, Evan, and I am joined by the very talented, very handsome Zach from Zach Attack Reviews. Let's go.
Thank you, my very handsome friend.
Oh, got it back. That is very kind of you. How are you doing, my friend? How has your weekend been?
It's actually been a really good weekend. Just a quick recap. Friday, saw The Long Walk review on my channel for that. Then on Saturday, I got to see Demon Slayer. We're going to be talking about that. And then Sunday, I just had a bunch of fun and was chilling and not doing any YouTube stuff. So, yeah. And now I'm here.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. You know, I watched a few things. I think it's always fun to start out with what we watch. It's just so funny because sometimes what we watch becomes news because Demon Slayer just crushes it at the box office. So,
yeah.
But I watched Nobody 2 finally.
Okay.
And
that's on digital?
Yes, on digital.
Okay.
Very happily surprised. Actually, I think I enjoyed it maybe on par with the first one, if not a little bit more. There's just something about this, like, you know, National Lampoon Vacation type story mixed with John Wick, with Bob Odenkirk and Connie Nielsen just being badass. Like, I don't know, man. Like, and then you have Christopher Lloyd, who I'm gonna see at Fan Expo in SF. I'm very excited about. And then RZA, you got RZA. What up, Kenny? What up, Jordan? So yeah, it was such a good time, and that's really what you want, right? Friday night at home, you know, pay some money on VOD and watch a movie. And so Nobody 2, definitely a great one. I mean, there are so many things where, because it is the John Wick, like one of the creators, that I'm like, this is so easily could be, we could see John Wick in this universe. Like,
yeah,
it is so of the same world in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
So I'm like, where's the crossover, bro? Let's get the ballerina. Let's get Nobody. Let's get Halle Berry.
Let's get them all. Where is Halle Berry? She was so good in 3.
Where's that movie?
Like, it's Halle Berry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Ballerina would have did way better if it was Halle Berry. I love Anna de Armas, but Halle Berry is more of a movie star than Anna de Armas.
100%. And also, she doesn't age. So if you want to do a prequel that takes place 10 years ago, you don't even
still looks like that.
Yeah, she still looks like it. So it's like, it's right there. I don't get it. But are we surprised when it comes to Hollywood and leading Black actors?
I was just about to. I was saying, I was like, oh yeah, she's a Black lady.
Oh yeah, she's not a white Keanu, you know.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But we did watch a lot of fun stuff, and with another week down means more geeky things to talk about, and we got some bangers to talk about in this episode. We got Demon Slayer, who crushed it this weekend at the box office. We're going to talk a little bit about that Paramount-Skydance bid for Warner Brothers. Where we got a Doomsday Synopsis, a Doomsday pick, and maybe a tease of Dr. Doom's most brutal scene from the comics.
Ooh.
But a mystery DC project teased by James Gunn. And unfortunately, Highlander is going to be delayed a little bit longer. So we got some fun stuff to get into. I'm going to start it off with a little bit of Peacemaker. I know my boy Zach did not get to watch this season yet, so this will be a spoiler-free review of the episode. But we are on episode 4. Peacemaker is crushing it. I'm just going to give my general thoughts. And you know, I do love that the old school HBO style it's always 1 week episode, 1 week, water cooler talk. That's how you get them in. When Game of Thrones was going, Sopranos, like the 1 week episode, it works so well. And it gives you like such great things to talk about with your buddies at that darn water cooler.
Yeah.
However, with Peacemaker, this is just me and this is just how I'm feeling. I feel like the release schedule could have been a little bit different. Episode 4 is a great episode. It covers some key things that will definitely lend itself to the rest of the season. And also, James Gunn does keep saying this is a prequel to
Man of
Tomorrow. So I definitely see the rumblings of what's going on. And if you've seen the internet, this is not a spoiler, but this alternate dimension could be Earth X. I don't know. There's nothing. No reveals yet in this. But overall, I feel like when I got done with the episode, I was like, that's it. I was like, not a lot happened. And it doesn't mean that there isn't, funny moments. Like Tim Meadows continues to crush it. He is the best addition that you could have. So I am loving Tim Meadows, and you get a little bit more of Rick Flag Sr. and Harcourt and, what she has to do to get back into Argus's good grace, maybe betraying Peacemaker. Nothing's official, but there's just like some tidbits, right? I just feel like The Boys does it right. When they come out with a season, they really got into this groove of like release 3 and then do 1 a week. Really give you like a big piece of the plot. And then once you're hooked,
you can slow down.
Yes. And so I feel like maybe HBO is a little bit more old school in these regards, and they don't want to play with release dates at all. No. And that can help and that can hurt. I forgot to mention this, but I recently watched Task episode 1 from the creator of Mayor of Easttown.
Yeah, I've been excited for that.
And it was good. It was good. But my wife and I both had that same feeling. I don't know if this episode got me hooked yet. And so it's the same. Oh, thanks, Kenny. I love you, brother. You just subscribed. So it's the same feeling that I'm getting with Peacemaker, is that it's not like the weekly episodes. I don't know if it's enough to sustain a weekly thing. And don't get me wrong, like it is now, the highest rated comic book series, TV series. And I think it dropped, so it might not be anymore. But like the ratings are up hella from the first season. So that is all well and good. It's just me personally, storytelling wise, I am feeling a little bit of drag week to week where like my excitement is so high. And then I see the episode and then I'm like, okay, like I liked it, but, and this is a good thing. Like I want a little bit more, you know what I mean? And so
one of the reasons why I'm not watching it actively right now is because I felt like with season 1, I felt like that a lot. I always felt like that's it.
Yeah.
I had fun. There's some story developments. There's some really great jokes. But story-wise, epic-wise, out of the 8 episodes, I feel like we get 3 that's really like, holy crap, this is an HBO. Like the finale was amazing. The first episode was amazing. I think there's an episode in the middle that's amazing. But there's a lot of episodes in between that kind of feel like this should have been released 3 at a time. Like 100%. You said, like The Boys does.
Yeah.
And HBO has that problem where it feels like no matter what the series is, they're going to do the week to week, even if it doesn't make sense. There's a show I absolutely love called Search Party on HBO Max. Yeah. And that was released week to week, but that's a show that should have been released all at once because the nature of the show doesn't fit the week to week. And the show ended up getting canceled earlier than it should have, but they got to change their model up.
I think you're right. It just lends to the state of where we're at today. And who knows if Paramount wins that bid that they might put in, everything's going to change. So again, so we'll see. But that is, I guess, and so I'm still loving the series. Peacemaker continues to be great. If you can see, I got this little Peacemaker figure back here.
Nice.
You know, what I really love about Peacemaker is it's really showing this character that embodies, and we talked about that through text, someone that, grew up in an upbringing of just horrible people and completely rejects those philosophies and ideologies and wants to be his own person. And he wishes that he had, that loving, non-racist family.
Yeah.
It's just not his life, but he's still striving for something that resembles some kind of
normalcy,
love and family and respect from the community and respect as a real hero. And so it's just something that I really gravitate towards. And I think that John Cena just continues to crush it in that role. So I'm loving it. I just really think the episodes, they need to start getting going a little bit more.
Yeah. Kenny in the comments said that. He said it feels like it's stretching it out or like get to the central conflict already.
Exactly. Yeah, I feel the same way. So I'm glad I'm not alone, but that is my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think. Are you enjoying Peacemaker? Do you think, do the episodes satiate you and you're good to go? Or do you need a little bit more in those episodes? Or do you think HBO it's ready to change up, depending on what shows they have coming out? All right. Before we get into the stuff, I just want to say, the Emmys are on right now. If you guys are watching that instead of us, I hate you. No, I'm just kidding. I totally understand. I am Emmys guy as well. I do want to say some highlights. Oh my gosh, dude. I just blanked. One, I do want to say, oh my goodness, help me out, Tillman.
We're gonna talk about the studio.
No, I was going to talk about Severance.
Oh yes, Tillman, I forgot what his name is. Yes, first black man to win supporting actor.
Yeah, so Tillman.
I'm gonna look it up for you right now. This is my job on this live stream. Look up stuff.
On top of that,
Tremel Tillman.
Thank you, Tremel Tillman, first black actor to win Best Supporting Actor in a Drama Series. About darn time. So that is fantastic. Owen Cooper, youngest actor to win Best Supporting Actor in an anthology series. So, and I think youngest Emmy winner ever. So that is my Robin, by the way. That is my pick.
Nice.
And then on top of that, Andor won Best Writing for a Drama Series. It is a huge win for genre television shows. So those are a few of the highlights. We're going to talk about a little bit more as we get to the end of the show, and pretty much they'll have all of them out, all the winners. And so we'll highlight a little bit as we get to the end. And 100%, Tremel Tillman absolutely deserved it. Incredible victory. And that is my Norman Osborn for the new Spider-Man.
He has a bright future ahead, man.
Because he is going to be in the new Spider-Man.
Yeah, I hope that's where they're going. I know it's going to be a little controversial. I know some people are going to be like, man. But I think he can pull it off.
He deserves something with some substance that he can stick around for a little bit. And, if your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man showed you anything where Coleman Domingo voices Norman Osborn, there's so much you can do with that character that we have not seen on screen yet. So I really hope Tremel Tillman from Severance is playing Norman Osborn. So we'll see. I'm very happy that Andor won as well. It continues to break down these walls that have been up with awards when it comes to genre TV. They simply don't like us. They don't want to give us the stuff, but it's undeniable. Andor is such a well-written show. And so I'm so happy. The Gilroys are going to be eating good tonight. So we'll see if they win anymore. But that's a little bit of what's going on right now. If you're watching the Emmys, have us on in the background, bro. All right, well, let's get into it. So, anime movies in the theater have been a thing for a while now. And, you know, Hayao Miyazaki, when it comes to Spirit Away and other films, have really broken down. Yeah, exactly. They've really broken down those barriers of taking anime seriously. And then Pokemon blew open the door and showed that if you put these in theaters, you can make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Well, move over, Pokemon, because there is a new box office winner in town, and that is Demon Slayer Infinity Castle. And this comes to us from The Wrap. They say, without Spider-Man on the slate, it looked like Sony's box office fortunes were going to be quite muted for 2025. But Crunchyroll's release of Demon Slayer Infinity Castle is giving the studio a huge September weekend. 8 years after Sony acquired the anime streaming service and came up with the plan to bring select titles from it to theaters, Crunchyroll has hit new heights with this globally popular shonen series, as it's earned a $70 million opening weekend from 3,315 locations, shattering the previous U.S. record. I am going to hand it over to my boy, Zach. Zach, I want to ask you, one, why don't you tell us a little bit, you know, for the uninitiated, about why people love Demon Slayer and how this has become such a popular franchise? And then two, why that has lent to such a big opening for an anime movie in the box office.
Yeah, you talked about it a little bit in terms of like Studio Ghibli showcasing how serious you can take animated movies, especially from Japan. And I think Dragon Ball also did a really great job recently with their 2 animated movies and how big they did. And how amazing the animation was. It felt cinematic. It felt worth watching it in a group with people. And then Demon Slayer, this has been hard work because they have been packaging their seasons as movies and putting them in the theaters and building up to this moment. And people going to the movies to watch their truncated seasons in movies and then go watch the show and still watch the same thing over. This is the first original thing. So the series is over and the series ends in 3 films. So this is part 1. And this is Infinity Castle part 1, and then we're gonna get part 2 in 2 years, and then part 3 another 2 years after that, which is kind of but
they're making you work for it.
Yeah, but what I gotta say about Demon Slayer and why it's so popular: one, lovable characters, right? It has the stereotypical shonen lovable characters, but they're done in a way and written in a way where they're not too over the top and too goofy. There's a maturity there in the characters that's there, but the storyline is very, very simple. 3, the style, the costumes, their clothing is so dope that you can wear it outside and you don't want to know you're wearing anime stuff. I have that same clothes you see on the caption you have. I have that as a bomber jacket. It looks amazing.
Oh, that's dope. Okay.
I have it as a bomber jacket and it looks amazing. People didn't know it was Demon Slayer. They just thought it looked dope. So I think there's a aspect there where it creeps into everyone's normal life because you can wear the clothes from the anime and it's just great. To the last biggest thing, Ufotable, they're the ones that animate this.
Okay.
This is one of the best looking animated things ever. I'm talking about just a show. Look, is mind blowing. Looks amazing. Okay. So bringing that to the big screen, giving them the budget to make it look like that all the time for 2 hours and 48 minutes in IMAX looked insane. I went into the theater. I watched it. It was just 2 hours and 40 minutes of nonstop action. It looked absolutely amazing on big screen. All the colors popping, all the way the characters move. So it builds this excitement for you to go and watch it in the theater, because watching it at home or watching it on your phone, it's not going to be the same.
Wow. Okay. You know, if you were to get into Demon Slayer, where would one start? And is it on Netflix?
It's on Crunchyroll and I believe Hulu.
Hulu. Okay. And is there just like the original series and you start episode one?
Episode one. This is 4
Okay.
seasons. You start from episode 1 and then you just get to the last season, and then once you get to the last season, then you can start watching the movies.
Do you think this is big enough to start pulling in non-anime fans?
Yes, there's been people who've been reviewing the movie saying they've never watched the show, watched the movie, and they loved it because they felt like the movie still lasted on its own or held its own without you having any knowledge of what happened before. And I think part of that is because the anime trope of flashbacks really helps, right? Like that's the one thing that people talk about in anime. There's too many flashbacks. There's too many flashbacks. Every anime has a ton of flashbacks.
Yeah, there is.
There's a lot of flashbacks in this movie, right?
Okay.
But what the flashbacks do, they add extra context to the fight you're about to watch. So there's a character in this show that's like kind of I want to call it a background character, but not a character that has a lot of story development. But they did with flashbacks so quick where you care about what she's about to do, and she's going, it's like insurmountable odds. So you immediately get emotional weight into it. So they do a great job of, even if you've never seen the show and you don't know who the hell this is, this flashback introduces you why she's fighting. You know? So they did a really good job there.
You know, I was talking about this actually with Rocky on our last show. We live in this time where the box office and theater going can be so fickle. One weekend, it's amazing. Next weekend, nobody's going to the theater. I think this is such a beautiful addition to these surprises in the 2025 box office theater going run that we've been seeing, where it's Sinners, it's Weapons, it's Final Destination, it's Chicken Jockey. There's all these different things. And now to see this anime movie doing so well in its opening weekend and getting people to the theater, it's such a beautiful thing to see that the tapestry of these different genres are really what's going to get people into those seats. And now there's something for everyone. So, even if I haven't seen it, I just really appreciate it because it's getting people to have another great theater going experience. And it's something that I really hope continues. And man, this is like the year of great theater going experiences, it feels like.
And Kenny talked about it. He said his theater was packed. My theater was packed. Every single seat, even the ones where you have to look up like this, which sounds terrible because you have to read subtitles.
Neckbreaker seats.
Yeah, I'm not reading subtitles and neckbreaker seats. That's way too close. I don't know. That's not worth it. But power to them. But like it was probably the second most packed experience I've had other than Sinners. Sinners I saw in a huge theater and that was packed. This one was packed. So I was shocked. It was a lot of people in here. In New York, you always have a couple people here and there. In even the smallest movies, but every seat was filled in the RPX.
That's awesome. I love that. I mean, so you saw it in IMAX?
No, I didn't see it in IMAX. I saw it in the RPX, which is like Regal's
IMAX. I mean, to be fair, Regal is my favorite theater to go to. The one that's here in SF. It's brand new. The staff is amazing. I've talked to you about it before. I've talked to new people since you and I talked about it at the theater. Like, I love going there. And even the RPX, even though it's not like as big as IMAX, you still get that IMAX feeling, and it makes it worth it. So that is awesome, dude. I can't wait to get into it. This is gonna make me start it.
I want to make, there was an article that came out maybe 2 months before this movie came out that talked about, they polled, I think, people across the United States about like what they're watching and stuff like that. And a lot of people are talking about they're switching to anime versus American television and movies because there's more variety in storytelling. They take more risks. And I think that is the big thing, is like a lot of what America does is cookie cutter and copy and paste. And you get that in anime, but there's so much different kind of anime. So if you just want to watch slice of life anime, you can watch that and it'll look great. They'll make it look amazing for no reason. It's just two people talking. if you want to watch battle, if you want to watch basketball, if you want to watch football, it has so much. Anime is no longer a genre; it's a medium with a bunch of different genres in it, and I think that's why you're seeing this rise.
That's awesome. That's really cool. Well, I'm definitely going to start that this week. I think I have to be honest. So I got to get into it. I'm going to lock myself in a room and be like, because I know my wife will definitely not be down to watch it. So I will have to find somewhere to lock myself in and get into it. Because I mean, I am just a lover of great storytelling and a great, beautiful animation. It seems like this is something that would be right up my alley. So
yeah,
I can't wait to start it. Let me know what you guys think, though. Did you get a chance to see Demon Slayer Infinity Castle in theaters? What do you think about this beating Pokemon as the biggest opening for an anime movie in the theaters? Drop a comment below and let us know what you think. All right, guys. Now we got to talk about some more tragic news. And it's very unfortunate because we've already seen the rumblings of this happening in the past few years, specifically when Disney bought Fox. Yes, my friend. And unfortunately, we are seeing another storied studio potentially being snapped up by another white guy with money. This comes to us from yahoo.com. They say Warner Brothers Discovery's stock has spiked close to 50% in just 2 trading days after Wall Street Journal reports that Paramount-Skydance is preparing a majority cash bid for the media conglomerate, a potential move that could set off a Hollywood bidding war and reshape the global streaming landscape. The David Ellison-backed company, which just closed on its takeover of Paramount last month, is reportedly eyeing all of Warner Brothers Discovery's assets, which include recognizable and high-profile properties from HBO and CNN to the Warner Brothers studio lot. Paramount-Skydance did not immediately respond to Yahoo Finance's request for comment, and Warner Brothers Discovery declined to comment as well. While no formal offer has been submitted and talks could still collapse, analysts say that the combination would instantly elevate Paramount-Skydance's scale in streaming and advertising, while forcing rivals from Disney to Amazon to reassess their competitive playbooks. This makes tons of both strategic and economic sense, says Bloomberg Intelligence senior media analyst Geetha Ranganathan, who I probably butchered that name. She said both Paramount and Warner Brothers Discovery are relatively subscale players in streaming. Put them together, and you're talking about 200 million subscribers and now a top 5 global player.
Mm-hmm.
For reference, Netflix has more than 300 million global subscribers, while Disney Plus and Hulu together reported 183 million at the end of their last quarter, which ended in June of 2025. Paramount Plus has roughly 75 million subscribers, and HBO Max has about 125 million. And they're just going to do some more math for us. So we can see that this makes a lot of sense for Paramount-Skydance to acquire Warner Brothers to now be one of the most competitive studios and streamers in the game. I want to ask you, my friend, there's a few things I want to get into. One, overall, for us movie, TV fans, and everything in between, physical media, Warner Brothers is one of the few studios that still has a physical media department. I want to ask you, what does this merger mean to you?
I hate it. I hate it on macro, micro, every kind of level that you can speak about. And only because of what's happened with Disney and Fox. Not having choice is the problem here, right? Fox being gobbled up by Disney. While I love that they had the X-Men, we still haven't seen them. So they've taken so long to do X-Men where it feels like it hasn't been worth it, right? they are not utilizing the Fox Searchlight brand name and bringing a lot of great indies or mid-budget films to screens. We're not seeing that done anymore. Having a lot of their library attached to Disney makes it that they have to be able to water it down in a way that maybe is not as good as we would like it. Like Alien Earth, I heard is great, but I don't think Alien should be on TV. It should be a theatrical experience. And if a company does something that you don't like, and if they own everything, it now it makes it hard for you to choose to watch something else. And I think that's what's going to happen here with Paramount buying Warner Brothers, because while Zaslav is not the best, Paramount has already started bending knees to people that I don't like. And if they squash these two together, they're going to have Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon. Like, that's just too much under one umbrella. Many people are going to lose their jobs. There's going to be a quality control problem. There's going to be so many issues where it's going to hurt the viewers in the future. Maybe not in the immediate. People might not realize in the immediate the problems, but we've already noticed, like with Hulu fusing with Disney Plus, it's just not a great look. And I see the quality control in Paramount, and it's not as good as the quality control in Warner Brothers.
Yeah, 100%. I totally agree. I think it is a slippery slope that we've already seen slip in when it came to Disney buying a super storied studio within Fox. And now, with Searchlight, which is a great independent, side of 20th Century Fox.
Yeah.
We're seeing less output from that studio. It's not like they're not doing it, but we are seeing less. And so it gets me scared that, these sub companies like Columbia Picture, in these parts of these bigger studios that are putting out these smaller scale, deeper movies are going to start to fall by the wayside, because now these huge companies are snatching them up and they have objectives to make more money.
Yep.
And Materialist is not going to make the money that the next Avengers movie is going to do, or the next Superman movie is going to do. And so it gets a little scary, because now everything's going to change. On top of that, we just saw a shift within DC Studios. Now we have the head of DC Studios is Safran and James Gunn, who just had a major hit. It was the first time that, DC beat a Marvel movie in 17 years.
Yep.
And Paramount might want their own guy at the head of DC Studios. They might not even want DC Studios to be its own entity. So now we could see what was just set up and starting to succeed and just start to take off be stifled immediately because of the plans of a new owner and new management. And so it scares me in that regard too.
It'll be DCEU all over again, right?
100%.
Because this is what happened. Every couple months, a new owner owned Warner Brothers, and then they kept doing different things with the franchise. That's exactly what would happen again here.
100%. 100%. And, it does make sense, because Warner Brothers just had the best year in movies that they've had in a very long time.
Yeah.
What do you do when you're winning? Sell high. And they're riding the high of their lives. Luca and Delaney, I think that's who's they're spearheading Warner Brothers right now.
Yeah.
They are absolutely crushing it with these movies.
And they were in the hot seat. That's what's crazy.
They were about to be
get fired
out of the job. And so it does make sense that if you're going to sell it, you sell it now, because you are winning the entire year.
Yeah.
It's just really sad, because one, Paramount is a storied studio in itself. and Warner Brothers. And when you start to combine these things, you really dilute the product, and these
you lose the
history of these old school studios fall by the wayside. And the kids that are going to grow up with these movies, they're not even going to know about like Warner Brothers and Paramount and how Hollywood used to be done, and like all these cooler aspects of what built the movies that we love. That's going to go away. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot of people think Terminator and Alien and Predator are Disney products, and even Disney's packaging it that way. They're not packaging it as these are things we acquired. There's like, we made these. That's changing history in a way that is very dangerous.
Yeah, no, 100%, 100%. I mean, even with like Home Alone and stuff like that, I'm like, Disney didn't own that.
No,
that was Fox.
Exactly.
With the Star Wars of it all. And, I think Fox was the distributor of Star Wars in the theaters as well, if I'm not mistaken. And so we're going to start to see a lot of changes as this happens. I don't know how they're able to do it, because like, how is this not a monopoly? You know what I mean?
It is. It has to be. I just talked about them having Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon. That's too much. And I think it would also be like MTV. No, I don't think Warner Brothers has their own video channel. But like having HBO and then having like all the Paramount stuff, I just think it's just too much to have under one umbrella. Fox made a little bit more sense because they had less competing aspects that Disney didn't have. But this is 10 times worse. They just bought Skydance. Like,
I know.
This is that'd be insane.
Yeah, they just bought Skydance. Like, like for better or worse, we've seen Star Trek be handled by these companies, and now we've seen the product diluted immensely, where it's too much. Like the best part about Star Trek was like, it wasn't so much that you're getting like, there was like a movie in theaters and then a new television show. There isn't like 5 new television shows, and we're going to do, the J.J. Abrams ones, and we're going to start a prequel one, and we're going to do Fleet Academy and in this and that. It's like, we're seeing it happen with Star Wars too. Like, you put out so much stuff, and then you're starting to have bad shows that now people are going to think that's what Star Wars is.
Yeah.
And now when a good show comes out like Andor, they're going to be like, well, I just watched The Acolyte and I'm done trying. You know what I mean? So you're going to start to lose that fan base because you're putting out too much.
Yeah, I agree. And Kenny said, I was under the impression that people were loving the new Star Trek shows. They do love the new Star Trek shows. I think the problem is there's just so many of it. It's fracturing the audience
100%
in a way where kind of like DC was fractured, where we had the Arrowverse, and then we had the animated movies, and then we had the live action. So it's like, I'm a fan of this. I'm a fan of this. So there's some people that's fan of the Picard show.
Right.
And there's some people fan of Strange New Worlds, and then there's people fans of the animated stuff.
Right.
But like, people are not watching everything. It's just too much.
Lower Decks,
Lower Decks.
And so, for me, like, I am a Star Trek fan. I am more a Star Wars fan, but I grew up, I went with my uncle took me to see First Contact with Jean-Luc Picard. Patrick Stewart was my boy. Jean-Luc Picard and Professor X, this man can do no wrong. You know what I mean? My uncle taught me how to do, live long and prosper. I put a rubber band around here to practice, and it was just, very wholesome. And then I watched Star Trek Discovery, and I'm like, okay, this is like, it's okay. It doesn't feel like Star Trek. It feels like Abrams Star Trek. It's bright. It has the light flares. It's way more action-y. You know what I mean? It doesn't have those messages that the original Star Trek had, those deeper meanings, the allegories. And so it kind of lost that. And then I fell off because it was just maybe a little bit too convoluted. And then I hear Strange New Worlds gets back to it, but I watched the first episode and I'm like, it didn't bring me back. You know what I'm saying? So there is people that love those different properties, but because it's so spread out, like you're saying, it has now divided the fan base where I'm like, okay, another Star Trek show. Like, I just don't have time. Like that's too much.
And where's the film? Like Star Trek also needs to be in movies, just like Star Wars. There's no reason why we haven't had a Star Wars and a Star Trek movie in theaters in so long. It doesn't make any sense to me. We got to get it going.
I know. We need for Star Wars,
for Star Trek, for both, honestly, but more for Star Trek.
Would you rather have a completely new Star Trek movie, or would you rather have them finish the J.J. Abrams Kelvin timeline and get all the old school people back?
Yeah, finish that film and let them hand it off to a next generation. Just like that. do that. Get these guys back in there, do that movie, and let's then do Star Trek Next Generation. Bunch of new actors with and move on. But yeah, I a lot of people want Star Trek 4. I really like the Kelvin timeline. I love all 3 films. Get that 4th one done. They're all down for it. It's not like the actors don't want to do it. They want to do it.
100%.
Just do it.
It was casted perfectly.
Huh? It was casted perfect. Yeah, Chris Pine and perfect.
Zoe Saldana,
Carl Urban,
who plays Spock.
What's his name?
Yeah, I can't. He crushed it though as Spock.
Zachary Quinto.
Yeah,
I believe.
Siler. You ever see Heroes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was casted so well. Anton Yelchin, R.I.P.
Rest in peace. Yeah,
I loved him, and so
I'm forgetting one guy, the comedian. What's his name? He's in Mission Impossible.
Simon Pegg.
Simon Pegg, yeah.
Wrote the last one, Beyond, Star Trek Beyond, which was really good and felt more like a Star Trek episode, which I really, really liked. And so I've always liked it. I really liked the second one.
Me too. It's the darkness.
I know the whole Khan thing, like having a British white dude play Khan, like I totally agree.
Yeah.
But as a movie in general, I was like, this is great. He's a great villain. He is eating up the scenery. I do like Benedict Cumberbatch. I think Javier Bardem would have been a sick Khan at that time.
He would have killed it.
But I love that movie. And so I think you're right. Finish the movie. And then, finish the series. And then do something completely different. Completely different. And so I hope they do that. I mean, I guarantee I could see them just redoing like Next Gen and having like a new Picard and all that stuff. But who knows if we'll even get that, because Paramount, if they buy Warner Brothers, might have other plans. And so before we move off this topic, I just want to ask you, how safe is James Gunn's job if this merger goes through?
Depends on when it happens, because Kenny made a great point in the chat saying that we've gotten 3 DCU projects and it all been James Gunn. They all have the same tone. They all have the same voice. And I think it's starting to grate on people a little bit, even though all this stuff is entertaining. I think if Supergirl does really well and Clayface does really well, I think Paramount has to take a step back and think, okay, this guy is making things that people like, and it's making money. Let's just keep him. Okay. Maybe change up some of the people in his team so we get our guys in there to work with him, or even have an in-between man. Because right now James Gunn doesn't have an in-between man. It's him. He talks to Zaslav. Maybe have someone that's right above, that's in the middle. I know that's going to suck because Kevin Feige hated it, but maybe that's what they do. They have one person above Peter Safran and James Gunn and do that. So I think if James Gunn can prove that these next couple films are worth it and they make a lot of money and they're reviewed well, he stays. If for some reason Supergirl and Clayface and even like the Lantern show don't hit like out of the park, then I can see there's a reason why they're like, you know what, you're not doing the bag up job. So let's get somebody that we might think might take these to the next level.
Okay. Winning cures all is what you're saying.
Yes.
Yes. 100%. No, I agree. I think, if he continues to go down this path of winning, and he is 100% winning right now, I think it'll be hard for them to get rid of him. So I think right now he is probably the most safe that he'll ever be, but let's see what the next year brings. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the same time, man, I really think we're in for a treat with these product. Like Clayface looks incredible. I saw a scene of him like dancing on the steps,
Me
like
too. Yeah.
just playing with his own shadow, on
Yeah.
top of the steps. Supergirl looks like amazing. That small part in Superman, so good.
Hold it.
And then Aaron Pierre is a star. And so to have him lead your Green Lantern series in the vein of True Detective, man,
Yeah.
I don't see him missing, but only time will tell. So that is what might be happening with this merger. Let us know what you guys think. What do you think? Do you think that this is a good thing that Paramount might be buying Warner Brothers? I'm sure, Ryan Coogler is saying, well, Sinners is mine in 19 years anyways. So
Yeah.
good luck with your merger, bro.
Yeah. I can't change that.
Yeah, I can't change that. That deal is signed and delivered.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's move on to this. So we have a very big Avengers movie coming next December.
Yeah.
And we've started to hear some rumblings about how they plan to roll out the tidbits to get people excited. Apparently, we're going to see a trailer probably 6 months before, so probably in July of next year. But we're going to start to see some pictures and maybe some events where there's some other tidbits. And they're going to slowly start teasing what we're getting from Doomsday. So this comes to us from comicbookmovie.com. They say, this week we got what appears to be our official look at the character design for Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom via some promo art. And we now have some more details on the powerful villain's nefarious plans for the MCU thanks to the first synopsis for Avengers Doomsday. Unveiled along with a new banner at the Walt Disney Marketing Expo in Shanghai, the logline reads, Doctor Doom has officially arrived in the MCU. This villain, a master of cutting-edge science and powerful magic, will unleash a cascading crisis across the entire multiverse. Well, this doesn't tell us too much. It does confirm that Doom will utilize magic and technology. As for this cascading crisis, rumor has it that Victor Von Doom's mission will involve him hunting down those who are responsible for causing the multiversal incursions, one of which resulted in the deaths of his wife and child. If this is the case, it sounds like Doom will cause even more damage in his quest for vengeance. And as you can see from the picture above, this picture was included in the banner of movies coming for the Shanghai Walt Disney celebration. I want to ask you, my friend, what do you think of our official first look at Doctor Doom in the MCU?
It's like, this looks like a comic panel. This looks amazing. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm glad that they showed that he's going to have the mask. I was worried that we're going to be seeing RDJ's face for like 90% of the movie. We probably still he might take it off and on a bunch. I want to
see that at the end. Flashbacks I get, but in present time, have that thing on until like a big reveal,
Yeah, whether like someone knocks it off his face and that's when they reveal it.
Yeah, Spider-Man.
Yeah. There's a lot of casual people that are not going to know. Like we know because we're in the know, but there's gonna be a lot of people walking into the scene. This is an Avengers film and not knowing RDJ's playing. When that mask comes off, that's gonna happen. It's gonna be amazing, right? Yep. And I think that comic accurate suits are in, right? People were excited about Spider-Man suit. People were excited about the Fantastic Four suits. People were excited about I feel like there's a Superman suit. So I think this is the right way to go. Don't MCU. I think obviously it still looks. When I'm looking at his stomach, it looks like it's still MCU-ified, a little bit over-designed because they love doing that.
Yeah.
But it still looks a lot like his comic costume.
when I first saw this, my initial thoughts were, "Oh my God!" And then, looking at the details with, the chainmail in between the suit, the way the mask looks, it's not the, Iron Man'd out mask that we thought we might get. The belt, the thick belt, the medieval kind of God Emperor Doom suit that we're looking at, it feels very comic book accurate, and it feels like this suit has a story to tell, and that makes me very excited. I think one thing that the MCU has done right, their suits have been very, very good for the most part. There might be some outliers here and there. Of course, it has to fit, the times that it live in, the storyline, the plot, everything like that. But all in all, MCU suits have been many, many bangers. And I think this right here is another addition to that long history of great suits. Yeah.
Totally agree. And I think it quells the worries of like RDJ's not playing Tony Stark as a Doctor Doom. He is playing Victor Von Doom that just looks like Tony Stark. And that's more exciting.
That is the key point, right? That is the key point right there. And I think hold on to that, because I don't want everything having to be tied back to Iron Man. Like, we've been there, we've done that, and it's time to move on. It doesn't mean that he isn't a well-known presence in the MCU. I mean, he is a storied character that helped build it. But for this culmination of everything that's happened, and to introduce Doom as this, God level threat that could kill Thanos,
maybe
it needs to stand on its own away from Iron Man. And I think this suit is a step in the right direction of doing that. So it makes me really happy. On top of that, I want to know, what do you think about that log line? And I want to read it again to you.
Yeah.
Dr. Doom has officially arrived in the MCU. This villain, a master of cutting-edge science and powerful magic, will unleash a cascading crisis across the entire multiverse.
And the rest of it was kind of like because of the death of his daughter, not his daughter, his son, and his wife. I kind of like how they're taking the approach of making it an understandable reason, because Doom has kind of been always understandable. He's always had some tragedy behind why he does things.
Right.
And I like the idea that of him trying to maybe find a way to bring them back and take revenge on the people that took him away from him. I think that's a really good way to ground the multiverse aspect of it, because that's like the big worry of how big or how crazy is this multiverse thing going to get. But if you ground it in a story of revenge and a personal thing, like whatever these people have been doing in the multiverse caused my family to die. Now I'm coming back for revenge. Everyone on the planet, no matter where you are, can relate to that. And even though you're doing it the wrong way, but understand where you're doing it, you have another Thanos level kind of villain here.
Definitely. And I think something to also pay attention to is, one, a master of cutting edge science and powerful magic. So we're definitely going to get more of this combination of science and magic, which is definitely Dr. Doom to a T. And so I think we are in for a treat in the sense that we haven't really seen that. They touched on it a little bit in Ironheart, but it was really quick and not a lot of people saw it. And so I really think you have an opportunity to really show what they mean by combining science and magic. And so I think that is a great part that they're definitely highlighting in the log line. Something else I think is really important is unleashing a cascading crisis across the entire multiverse. A cascading crisis means that this is something that is going to continue to get worse and worse for everybody in the multiverse. So it sounds to me like this is something that is thought out from Dr. Doom, that he planned meticulously, that will attack everyone on multiple levels, including the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, the Thunderbolts, the Avengers, Loki's team. It's going to be a attack that has been planned in the making, is intelligent, and will affect everyone that we've seen on screen thus far. And I think that is something that gets me really excited for what we're in store for.
Yeah, 100% agree.
So on top of that, at the Shanghai celebration, they teased something else that was quite curious, and we weren't sure if we were going to get this in the Doomsday movie. During the celebration, there was a light show. As you know, they brought us. Oh, do you hear that or no?
No.
Okay, good. There was like a Pizza Hut. So not only did they show us promo art, but the light show indicated a lot of things that we might see in the forthcoming Avengers movie. It indicates that the movie will recreate an iconic moment from Jonathan Hickman and Ribich's Secret Wars. It's easy to miss, but as you can see above, the video features Doom showcasing his powers in the iconic comic book moment that saw him violently lay waste to Thanos. On the page, several heroes and villains from Earth 616 survive the final incursion, and the latter group eventually confronts Doom on Battleworld. Alas, their uprising ends abruptly when Victor plunges his fist into the Mad Titan Thanos' chest, reducing him to little more than a skeleton in his hand. It's an epic moment that drives home just how powerful God Doom is, who rules over a patchwork battle world reality at this point. While we can't guarantee this will be an Avengers Doomsday moment, it certainly seems likely, and how better to establish Doom as a true threat than having him easily dispatch the most powerful villain that we've ever seen faced by the Earth's mightiest heroes.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, how do you feel about Dr. Doom demonstrating his strength and his abilities by completely decimating Thanos on screen? And do you think that this will happen in Doomsday, or it's more likely to happen in a Secret Wars movie?
It feels like a Secret Wars moment, because I fell like Battleworld is going to be the needle drop at the end of Doomsday, and then we'll get the Secret Wars movie, and that's where we get to explore everything, and then they all rise to try to stop him. So it feels like that will be what it is. I also think that they might want to put a twist on it and maybe make him do this to a hero, just to get that moment of him maybe taking out one of the strongest heroes that we have, maybe someone that we might not be using anymore, Thor, or even maybe Captain Marvel, and it's like oh my god, we have Doctor Strange, Captain Marvel, Scarlet Witch, Thor, and all these powerhouses that we never usually have it together, and they all attack at once. He starts beating the crap out of each other, and if somebody gets cocky and he just rips their skeleton out. I don't know how we're gonna get that off in a PG movie, but something like a snap neck, something. I feel like we'll get something similar. I don't think they're gonna go R-rated with the and pull out the skeleton.
Yeah,
I can see like maybe a stab neck, drop
there
body.
needs to be some kind of cut. You know what I mean? Like maybe you see the view, like when he reaches for it, the camera's from the back of Thanos, and then you see his body drop, and then like the skeleton's there. It's darker or something. You know what I mean? Something like
a
that.
Silhouette. It's far away, so it's a silhouette, so you don't really see it. Yeah,
that's how you could kind of do it. But you know, you mentioned a few people that would still be impactful if it wasn't Thanos. I'm wondering, who do you prefer that it would be to demonstrate his power if he's going to do this kind of move in the movie.
It's so hard, right? Because the immediate thought is it should be Thor, right? Because he's kind of, there's more to do. Obviously, there's so many comics, but I feel like Chris Hemsworth's time in the MCU should be coming up to the end,
right?
And he is one of the most powerful Avengers. He's claimed this a bunch of times. He did mess up with Thanos, so I feel like he could be in a situation where, like, I'm not messing this up. I'm getting this guy right now,
right?
Definitely. And he's a little too gung ho, and it could be a situation he just got in contact back with Loki. They had their moment, and then that happens, and this is what spurs Loki to have his heroic moment. I can really see it could be Thor, but I also can see them not wanting to kill Thor. So I can see it being Captain Marvel, but I also hate that idea because the toxic fanboys are going to be like, yeah, she's gone.
Yeah.
So I can't see, I'm trying to think of who else is on that level of strength that makes sense, because you don't do it to Wanda, you can't do it to Strange, really, he's not physically strong, and you can't do it to Sentry because he just showed up. So I feel like
what if it's not someone of strength? What if it's someone that we've known for a very long time who is a part of one of the storied relationships we've seen in the MCU? What if it's to Pepper Potts?
Oh no, my God. And that blew my mind because he looks like Tony.
And she thinks it's Tony. Maybe it's not the spine rip, throughout the body kind of thing.
Yeah.
But what, instead of demonstrating his power, it's demonstrating his ruthlessness.
Yeah.
That he will go through anyone to get to what he needs and to really mess with the people that took his family.
Yeah. Yeah.
Woo!
Maybe they even bring Pepper thinking like it's going to get to him. And he's like, what is this? And just tortures her or something like that. That would be absolutely insane. That would be a moment in the movie where, like, okay, this is not the person to mess with.
That'd be cool.
Both of them could happen, honestly. He could take out a big person and also do it to Pepper.
Yeah. No, 100%. No, I think both could happen. I think there needs to be some kind of part with Pepper and her daughter. And
also, there was a report saying that there's a possibility that Jonathan Majors might make an appearance as Kang. I can see it being Kang. Kang sees Doom as the big threat. He's trying to warn the Avengers. He's trying to do the right thing. And Doom is like, I got to take all you out. You're all in my way. Maybe even Kang is the thing that messes up and messes up the incursion and causes his family to die. And we get these two giant villains fighting against each other. And now the Avengers are in between it. And it's causing all these problems. And then he does it to Kang and is like, oh, okay.
I wouldn't be mad about that. I think him taking out the entire Council of Kings is something that definitely would demonstrate his power and just tie that storyline off easily. So I think you could do a lot. I mean, I don't even know if you need to cast Jonathan Majors, to be honest. I think it could be anybody in that role, a stand-in. You don't even see his face. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's blue with the helmet on. Like, it could just be CG, but I do think that is another great way that you could really demonstrate his strength and his power.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, let me know what you guys think. What do you think of the first look of Doomsday? And then also, what do you think of them teasing this extremely brutal scene from the comics in their light show at the Shanghai Celebration? Drop a comment below and let us know what you think. All right, guys, we're almost out of here. We got a couple more things. I wanted to get into this because this was really interesting. As I stated in the beginning of the show, as we know, our boy James Gunn never stops talking. And he's never going to. And apparently he's given a little bit of some tidbits about this mystery DCU project. This comes to us from comicbook.com. They say back in June 2025, James Gunn, co-CEO of DC Studios, revealed the existence of a secret DCU project, one that was never revealed during the rollout of Chapter 1, Gods and Monsters slate.
Yep.
Gunn said, "There was one thing that I knew about from the very beginning, that when I pitched to Zaslav what the DCU would be, I pitched to him, but we did not announce in that first meeting because I felt like it was too easy to rip off by another company. And so that's one of the main things. Now we somewhat have an update on this project, presumably, unless there's another secret project in the works at DC, appearing on the Peacemaker official podcast. Gunn stated that the project has a writer and director and that it's not him. He said, I was just meeting with the writer and director of a forthcoming secret DCU project that we're doing, and that they were asking us about how much VFX and how much it costs and how many VFX characters we can have. And then they were talking about the superheroes in the show. And I was like, the one thing you kind of got to be careful about is the superhero costumes, because they're really difficult to make. They're difficult to make look good, and they usually cost a lot more money than it does creating a CGI character. It's presumed that all of Chapter 1, Gods and Monsters, are gradually building towards a large-scale event-style movie. However, unlike the MCU phases, each television and film project won't be forced into a single, rigid continuity. Instead, each project is allowed to stand on its own while still contributing to the bigger picture. I want to ask you, this DCU secret project, you know, from hearing what James Gunn is saying about how he's not writing it, he's not directing it, that it is something that he needed to not announce in the original pitch to Zaslav in the announcement of Chapter 1, because he was scared that another studio could steal this idea. In your mind, what do you think that this project could be?
That picture is very intriguing. A Crisis on Infinite Earths, where we get animated characters and kind of just a celebration of everything that's came
DC.
before, with the DCU, kind of ending the whole like, oh, we used to love the animated stuff. Oh, we used to like the Snyderverse. Oh, we love the Arrowverse and all that stuff. If he's able to pull off a way to get all these characters together against one threat, all my doubts that I have about him would be quelled, because that would be, well, obviously if it's good, it could be trash, but
yes,
it would
that's
be
a good point.
It would be amazing to see that, because he's had conversations with Henry Cavill. He did say he did tell Gal Gadot that she would be involved with something with Wonder Woman
until he saw the second Wonder Woman. Then he's like, never mind.
And then, he did say Ezra needs a second chance. And, I've had a dark past and all that stuff. So I can see it where there's a possibility that he brings all these characters together to have a really cool hurrah moment where we see the old mixed with the new, learn lessons from the old, and move forward. I think that could be really, really cool.
I think you're right. I saw this picture and I found it very curious because, one, that would be extremely bold move to just include everyone that you cut ties with back into the fold and have them go head to head in a crazy Crisis on Infinite Earth movie. And if it's pulled off, it would be an Endgame type situation that people would really love if pulled off well. However, as we've seen, James Gunn has had quite a hard time letting go of writing and directing movies when it comes to the DCU so far. And so if it is a movie that he did say He is not writing it and he is not directing it. I'm wondering if it would be such a big team up movie or if he would leave that for him to be able to write and direct. Now, if he is the studio head that we want and he is able to let go of the reins sometimes and give it to other filmmakers, and it was a big team up movie, I don't think that it would be a Crisis on Infinite Earth so soon. What I do think is that it could be a Crisis on Earth X movie. I think that because he is constantly saying that Peacemaker is going to basically be a prequel to Man of Tomorrow and basically set up the DCU moving forward.
Interesting.
Those are big words coming from James Gunn and putting a lot on a TV show.
Yes.
In the show, I am noticing that in the alternate Earth that he is starting to visit more, there is no people of color. There has been chatter online that this could be Earth X. And that could lend to what he's talking about setting up the DCU moving forward and having Earth X continue to be its own villainous Earth that we see throughout at least the first phase or what have you within the DCU. So I can't see that all this stuff could be culminating into a Crisis on Earth X team up movie. And we see them having to make costumes for the characters that he mentioned that are more in the vein of the villainous Nazi versions of these superheroes that the Peacemaker of it all could lend to what we will see in the next few movies. And so I really think that if it is a team up movie, it could be a Crisis on Earth X movie. What do you think about that?
That would be very interesting and very touchy. With the rise of Nazism again in the media and real life, I can see it causing uproar. But I do think it could be really, really fun because the Arrowverse version of it was really good.
Definitely.
So seeing that in a big scale cinematic piece, superheroes just beating up Nazis, who's gonna hate on that? You know what I mean? To see like an evil Nazi version of Superman versus our Superman, by golly gee Superman versus some evil mustache twisting. I don't like anybody. I am the pure Aryan race. Superman. I think that could be really interesting. It will be, but I think it will be bold. It will be, I don't know how the Marvel would be able to do this. They don't really have that built in the universe. In terms of like, the multiverse is DC's thing. I know, and you can tell by how Marvel's handling their multiverse saga that it is DC's thing.
Yeah.
So I think that it's a bold move. I think it's something that I've been wanting the comic book movies to try. We've have too much formula in comic book movies and not enough risk. And I think this would be a very great risk.
I agree. This would be a big risk, but if it pays off, it would be a huge movie. And as we talked about before on the show, when the CW did the Crisis on Earth X crossover, it was really good. And I really enjoyed it. And they did a proper buildup with those characters to get to that point and to have that storyline and those characters matter in that moment. And so if James Gunn can do that with the next few projects that we're going to see come out, and we get to a Crisis on a Crisis on Earth X movie, that would be really cool. But it's a big hill to climb, and I don't know if he's going to give a big team up movie to someone else. I think he should. Because if you don't, you're never going to have a Russo brothers moment or Joss Whedon moment. You're, someone where they're so unassuming, and then they just made a great superhero movie of all time. And if you keep doing your thing and writing it and directing it, you're not doing your studio head thing and giving it another opportunity to someone that you plucked out and put into the seat and backed, and it paid off. And that's what a real studio head does. And that's what Kevin Feige became known for. Yeah. And that, James Gunn, is how you got your job in the first place, from taking those risks on up and coming or niche filmmakers.
Yeah. That's 100% true.
So do it. Give it to us. No, don't do it to us.
Watch it like a much smaller thing than we think it is.
It could be.
It could be Milestone. I would love them to do like a Milestone movie. Have Static, Icon, Bumblebee, all these characters in Milestone. They build up that universe, and Static's the lead. That's how you're leading, because everyone knows who he is. And we get all the Bang Babies and all that stuff, and then we see and then you just spread all those characters out in their own films.
Batman Beyond. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my God.
Oh, I wish. Okay, well, let us know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you think that this secret movie could be a big team-up spectacle? Or, based on the comments about the costume and CGI and the costs, could it be a smaller scale film? Drop a comment below and let us know what you think. All right, guys. We're going to get through this really quick, and then I think... You know what? Actually, we're just going to go to the Emmys. I will say that, with the Highlander reboot, I was very excited. The combination of the director and creator of John Wick mixed with the fantasy and the lore of Highlander, and then casting Henry Cavill. It was just such a great and interesting team that I thought we are in store for a very, very awesome movie. Unfortunately, while Henry Cavill was training for this movie, he got injured so bad that it is actually delayed for several more months. So it was really unfortunate. I wanted to talk a little bit about it, but I wanted to get into some of these Emmy wins because I believe the show is over at this point.
Probably.
While I'm looking for it, what do you think about this project, the Highlander reboot? And what do you think about the setback of Henry Cavill getting injured while training?
Yeah, I think him playing Highlander sounds like he would pull off an amazing job, because when he does stuff, he's a fan of it. Yeah. So he'll know the ins and outs. He'll really get that character, and the cast that they put together was really, really strong. And there's a resurgence of all those old 80s and 90s things coming back and being modernized, and I think Highlander is one of those things that could be really, really cool.
Definitely.
Him getting hurt. He got hurt, and I think Sterling K. Brown just recently got hurt, and it's just kind of part of it when you're doing action set pieces and you decide to do the training and you decide to do the stunts. There's a possibility that you might get hurt. I'm just hoping that it's not a serious injury, something that he can easily recover from and then get back into it and do it. And I'm not rushing for the Highlander movie, right? Because it's not like we saw a trailer and I'm hyped about it, and then it got delayed. We haven't seen anything. We haven't even seen a set pick. So I'm fine with them having to delay it and get it done later after he heals up.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's unfortunate, and I want the movie, but I don't want it to be rushed. You know what I mean? I think we're in for a treat with, Kurgan being played by Dave Bautista. Ramirez is being played by Russell Crowe, and we get Jor-El and Kal-El reunion. And then the fight sequences that they say they're working on, where he's learning different sword fighting techniques from a 500-year span. So I think we're in for a real treat. It sucks, but at the end of the day, the movie's gonna come when it's supposed to come. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, brother, let's go a little bit over these shows, okay?
Yeah.
For outstanding drama series, we have The Pitt from HBO Max as the winner.
Not surprised.
So, not surprised. Huge. Won at Andor. But I get it. Paradise would have been sick too.
Yeah.
Outstanding
great lineup.
comedy. What?
Great lineup.
Great.
I was saying that's a great lineup right there.
Oh, 100%. I mean, TV is in a really good place right now, I would say.
Yeah.
Outstanding comedy series, The Studio from Apple TV Plus.
Well deserved.
Outstanding limited series or anthology, Adolescence, Netflix.
Not surprised. Yeah.
Outstanding lead actor in a drama series, Noah Weil, The Pitt.
Wow. Yeah.
Outstanding lead actress in a drama series, Britt Lauer, Severance.
Okay.
Really? Yeah.
She's really good. She's really good.
Outstanding lead actor in a comedy series, Seth Rogen, The Studio.
Well deserved. He was hilarious.
Outstanding lead actress in a comedy series, Jean Smart, Hacks.
She wins all the time. I'm not shocked.
Wow, I can't believe this one. Okay. Outstanding lead actor in a limited series or an anthology series or movie. Not Colin Farrell. Winner is Stephen Graham from Adolescence.
Yeah, I haven't seen Adolescence, but I heard he's incredible in that.
He is, but the Penguin was so good.
Yeah.
Okay. Outstanding lead actress in a limited series or anthology series or movie, Kristen Milioti, the Penguin.
Nice. Well deserved.
Yes. She 100% deserves it. And then, as you know, Tremel Tillman for outstanding supporting actor in a drama series, Severance. Outstanding supporting actress in a drama series, Catherine Lanasa, The Pitt.
Okay.
She's the blonde girl. Did you see The Pitt?
I haven't seen The Pitt. I heard it's really great, though.
It's really good. This is kind of crazy to me. I saw this as I was getting out of the shower, getting ready for the show. Outstanding supporting actor in a comedy series, Jeff Hiller, Somebody Somewhere on HBO Max. He beat out Eben Moss-Backrack, Michael Urie from Shrinking, Harrison Ford from Shrinking, Coleman Domingo from The Four Seasons, Ike Barinholtz from The Studio, and Bowen Yang from Saturday Night Live.
Wow.
He beat out a lot of greats. So
he must have been really, really good. I haven't even heard of that show.
Exactly. My wife was like, what? Like, I don't even know what this is. So maybe I'll have to watch it. I don't know.
Yeah, get more eyes on the show now.
Yeah. No, my task is Demon Slayer.
As it should be.
Outstanding supporting actress in a comedy series, Hannah Einbinder from Hacks.
Okay.
And then, as I told you, Owen Cooper from Adolescence for outstanding supporting actor in a limited series. Erin Doherty, Adolescence for outstanding supporting actress in a limited series. She, nice. I believe, played. There's a really great episode where he's talking to a therapist. And this is like where Owen Cooper and this actress got nominated and both won for this episode alone, which I think you will love. It is incredible.
Yeah.
Outstanding reality competition program, The Traitors. Outstanding scripted variety series, Last Week Tonight with John Oliver. And wow, outstanding talk series, The Late Show with Stephen Colbert.
And it's getting canceled. Insane.
So sad. As I said before, Dan Gilroy, best outstanding writing for a drama series Andor. Outstanding writing for a comedy series, Evan Goldberg and Seth Rogen for The Studio. And of course, outstanding writing for a limited or anthology series or movie, which has become a banger of a category over the last few years.
Yeah.
Jack Thorne and Stephen Graham for Adolescence.
Wow.
Beating out Black Mirror, Dying for Sex, The Penguin, and Say Nothing. Outstanding directing for a drama series, Adam Randall from Slow Horses. That show continues to win awards.
Yeah.
Never seen it.
Yeah.
Outstanding directing for a comedy series, Seth Rogen from The Studio. seems like the bear has finally lost its steam in the awards season.
Yeah.
Outstanding directing for a limited or anthology series, Philip Barantini, Adolescence. So that is our Emmy Award winners. Congrats to them.
Congrats.
My champs is gone because I celebrated early for you guys, but it is a great time to be in the TV business because the things that they're trying, the storytelling that's being had, whether it's comedy, whether it's drama, whether it's limited series, we are in the heyday of TV filmmaking. I mean, TV making, it's not film, but you know what I mean? TV making. And it is just great to see. And I'm so excited to see what's to come in the following year. So September is around the time when these new shows start, you know, and then we start seeing it go into December and then the new year. So I'm really excited, but there you have it. Those are the Emmy winners. Yeah. Did anything surprise you in those Emmy wins?
Obviously, Colin Farrell not winning for The Penguin was a surprise, but also at least it was someone that I heard was phenomenal inside of Adolescence, and it seems like Adolescence was just a series that they really loved because it won a lot.
It is, yeah. It is
and
the
the
new
studio.
Baby Reindeer. Have you seen that?
Good comp.
Yeah.
Good comp. We got some history. First black man to win supporting actor. Youngest person to win ever. The kid from Adolescence. And there was one other thing. Oh, the studio won the most awards or something like that for a comedy.
Really?
Ever. Yeah. I think
they beat the bear.
Yeah, I think they had like 12, 13, or 14 wins or something like that.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a historic night. Some really good shows won. It kind of sucks there's not that much diversity. You know, Hacks winning again. Studio obviously should win. It's new. Pitt won. Is new. But like I wish there was a little bit more diversity in the winners as well.
Yeah, I agree. I think you know, with how much we've advanced in TV, we still have a very, very long way to go. So I really hope next year it continues to be more diversity. They speak diversity, they talk all about it, but we're not seeing it happening. So I mean, we're seeing it happening in very small doses, and it needs to be more. And so, you know, for Tremel Tillman tonight, it's such a huge win. And I'm so happy for him because, you know, not only is he a person of color, a black actor, he is a phenomenal talent. And this is only the beginning of his career. I cannot wait to see what he does next. It is very reminiscent of a Coleman Domingo type run where he's plucked from obscurity and is now one of the biggest names. And so I can't wait to see what he does next. And it's such a big win. It reminds me of, like, you know, Lena Waithe, the first black female for best writing in a comedy series. So continues to break down those barriers, but it better not be done because there's still more work to do.
Yeah, there's definitely an award curse where we see a lot of people win awards and then you don't see them again.
Yeah.
So like I'm hoping that's not the case here, because where is Daniel Kaluuya? Where's Mahershala Ali? Where's
you know who I was thinking of from last year? Fargo. Did you see Fargo last year?
I didn't watch Fargo, no.
Okay, so in Fargo, Lamorne Morris won.
Yeah,
and he was incredible. And when they were, I saw him on a commercial. I was like to my wife, I'm like, where is he? He was so good in that. He won the Emmy for Best Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Limited Series, and then I haven't seen him cast in like anything else.
He has like a new girl recap podcast thing that he does, and that's it. And I'm like, what? He just won an Emmy. I don't understand.
Act like that show. I'm telling you, like, it was one of the standout performances. His character, the way he portrayed it, like, you know, Lamorne Morris is an great talent, and how are you guys not hiring him more? Like, if I was if I was a casting director, I'm looking at him. I'm looking at a lot of different people because that curse needs to be broken, bro. And it typically happens to people of color.
Yeah. So keeps happening over and over. Halle Berry is an Oscar winner, and after she won the Oscar, she didn't get much.
Nope. And no one in that category won again, right?
Yeah.
It's until recently, right?
So recently, yeah. It was a long time.
But that's a long gap. You can't go like every 25
talk about her. Talk about the actress that won the Oscar. Davine Joy Randolph. Where is she?
Yeah.
That's another thing. She won the Oscar, and I haven't seen her since.
Yeah, I know. They were just talking about like because High Fidelity was such a good show, and the cast was amazing, and she was in it. And the second season was going to focus on her character, and I'm like, dang, because like she was such on a generational run. Like if she won the Oscar and the season's about her next, it's like. Why are you stunting these people's trajectory? You know what I mean? Like, it's ridiculous.
Doesn't make any sense. Yeah.
But we gotta give credit where it's due. And so Trammell, Owen Cooper, the studio, I think we are just in the midst of such great talent and such great projects. And so I can't wait to see what more is going to come from these guys. So congrats to them.
Congrats to them with all the winners, and hopefully they capitalize on this.
Yeah, 100%. All right, brother. Well, that is it for the episode today. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you for commenting and joining us in the live chat. We love hearing from you guys. And, this stuff is subjective. It hits everyone differently. But the best part is having conversations, having healthy, respectful conversations about the things that we love. And so thank you for being here. Like, subscribe, join us, be with us for the conversation, because that is what this community is all about. Zach, where can the good people find you?
Yeah, you can find me on social media at Zach Attack RVS because reviews is too long. You can obviously find me on YouTube at Zach Attack Reviews. I do movie reviews, live streams, and discussions.
Awesome. Well, thank you again for joining us. Everyone, have a great rest of your week. Stay tuned. More things will come, more geeky things to talk about, and we will see you guys next time. Take care.
It's the Evan Edition. The Evan Edition. The Evan Edition. The Evan Edition. It's the Evan Edition. The Evan Edition. The Evan Edition. The Evan Edition. It's the Evan Edition.